There's something you carry with you every single day that can either destroy your life or transform it completely. It's not your phone, it's not your keys. It's something far more powerful, and most people use it without ever thinking about the consequences. Your words. What if I told you that right now, in this moment, you have access to the same creative force that God used to speak the universe into existence? The same power that called light out of darkness, that separated the waters, that breathed life into dust. Every single day, you are speaking things into existence. The question is, what are you creating? You wake up, and the first words out of your mouth set the tone. I'm so tired. This is going to be a long day. I can't handle this. I'm not ready. Or maybe it's the voice in your head that never stops. You're not smart enough for that promotion. You'll never find someone who truly loves you. You always mess things up. You're just like your mother. You're just like your father. Words. They seem so small, so harmless. But I need you to understand something that could change everything about how you see yourself, your relationships, and your future. Your words don't just describe your reality. They create it. Let me show you what I mean through the pages of Scripture. The tent is quiet except for the crackling of the fire. Abraham and Sarah have just received the most impossible news of their lives. 3 visitors, strangers who somehow know their names, have just declared that Sarah, at 90 years old, will have a baby within the year. Sarah is listening from inside the tent, and when she hears this promise, she does something that seems so natural, so human. She laughs. Not a laugh of joy, but a laugh of doubt. A laugh that says, "That's impossible." But here's what's remarkable. God hears that laugh, and he stops the conversation to address it. "Why did Sarah laugh?" he asks. "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Sarah, caught off guard, tries to cover her tracks. "I didn't laugh." But God responds with words that should make us all pause and think. "No, but you did laugh." God cared enough about Sarah's words, even her silent laughter of doubt, to address them directly, because he knew something Sarah didn't understand yet. Her words, her laughter, her expression of doubt had power. They could either agree with his promise or work against it. Think about that for a moment. The creator of the universe stopped to correct the words of doubt coming from a 90-year-old woman in a tent. Why? Because words matter to God. They matter more than we realize. The wilderness stretches endlessly in every direction. For 40 years, Moses has led the people of Israel through this desert. He's seen the Red Sea part. He's received the 10 Commandments. He's spoken with God face to face. But now, the people are complaining again. They're thirsty, and they're taking their frustration out on Moses. "Why did you bring us out of Egypt to die in this wilderness?" God gives Moses simple instructions. Speak to the rock, and it will give water. Speak to the rock. Simple, clear, direct. But Moses is frustrated. He's tired of the complaining, tired of the doubt, tired of being blamed for everything that goes wrong. So instead of speaking to the rock, He speaks to the people, and his words are filled with anger and pride. Listen, you rebels, must we bring you water out of this rock? Must we? Moses has just taken credit for what only God can do. And then, instead of speaking to the rock as God commanded, he strikes it twice with his staff. Water flows, the people drink, the immediate crisis is solved. But God's response to Moses is devastating. Because you did not trust in me enough to honor me as holy in the sight of the Israelites, you will not bring this community into the land I give them. 40 years of faithful leadership, countless miracles, a lifetime of obedience, and in one moment of wrong words, Moses forfeits his right to enter the Promised Land. Your words don't just reveal your heart, they shape your destiny. But let me show you the flip side. Let me show you what happens when words align with God's will. The 12 spies have just returned from scouting the Promised Land. For 40 days, they've explored every corner, examined every city, counted every giant. And now they stand before the entire nation of Israel with their report. 10 of them speak words of fear. The land is good, but the people are strong. The cities are fortified, the giants are huge. We seem like grasshoppers in their sight. We can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are. But 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, see the same situation with different eyes, and their words create a completely different reality. Caleb stands up and speaks with conviction. We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. The crowd erupts in fear and doubt. The negative report spreads like wildfire, but Caleb and Joshua don't back down. They continue to speak words of faith. The land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them. Same facts, same giants, same fortified cities, but completely different words. And here's what's remarkable. Those words determined who entered the Promised Land and who died in the wilderness. The 10 spies who spoke fear, they died of a plague. The entire generation that agreed with their words of doubt, they wandered for 40 years until they died in the desert. But Joshua and Caleb, they not only entered the Promised Land, they led the conquest. Your words don't just describe what you see. They determine where you go. Maybe this is hitting close to home right now. Maybe you're recognizing the power of words in your own life. You're the woman who's been saying, "I always pick the wrong men," and somehow you keep proving yourself right. You're the parent who keeps telling your kids, "You're just like your father," or "You never listen," and watching them live down to your expectations. You're the employee who says, "I never get the good assignments," and somehow you keep getting overlooked for opportunities. You're the person who looks in the mirror every morning and says, "I'm so fat. I'm getting old. I'm not attractive," and wondering why you feel worse about yourself every day. Here's what I need you to understand. You're not just describing reality, you're creating it. But there's hope, because the same power that can work against you can work for you. She's been bleeding for 12 years. 12 years of doctors who can't help. 12 years of treatments that don't work. 12 years of being considered unclean, untouchable, isolated from her community. She spent everything she has on medical bills. She's weaker now than when this whole nightmare started. By every logical measure, her situation is hopeless. But then she hears about Jesus, and something begins to shift inside her. Not in her circumstances, not in her body, but in her words. In the conversation she's having with herself. She could say what everyone expects her to say. I've tried everything, nothing works, I'm going to die like this. Instead, she speaks different words, words that seem impossible given her situation. If I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Not, maybe I'll be healed. Not, I hope I'll be healed. I will be healed. She pushes through the crowd. She fights through her weakness. She reaches out and touches the edge of Jesus' cloak, and immediately the bleeding stops. Jesus turns around and asks, "Who touched me?" The disciples think he's crazy. "Master, people are crowding against you from every side." But Jesus knows that something different happened. Power went out from him. Faith drew healing from him. And when the woman comes forward trembling to confess what she did, Jesus speaks words over her that seal her transformation. "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." Her words of faith created the reality her circumstances said was impossible. You have the power to speak life or death, to build up or tear down, to create or destroy. Every morning when you wake up, you're holding matches. The question is, what are you going to set on fire? Maybe you've been setting your own confidence on fire with words like, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up." Maybe you've been setting your relationships on fire with words of criticism, sarcasm, or passive-aggressive comments. Maybe you've been setting your future on fire with words of doubt about your dreams, your calling, your potential. But today, that can change. Jesus said, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." This means your words reveal what's really going on inside you. But here's the beautiful part. You can change what's in your heart by changing what comes out of your mouth. So start speaking life over yourself. Not just positive thinking, but biblical truth. Instead of, "I'm so stupid," try, "I have the mind of Christ." Instead of, "I always fail," try, "God works all things together for my good." Instead of, "Nobody could love me," try, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Instead of, "I can't do this," try, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Start speaking life over your family. Your words as a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, carry enormous weight. Instead of, "You never listen," try, "I know you want to do the right thing." Instead of, "You're just like our Father," try, "God has such amazing plans for your life." Instead of, "We can't afford that," try, "God is our provider and we trust His timing." Start speaking life over your future. Stop agreeing with the voice of doubt and start agreeing with the voice of faith. Instead of, "It's never going to happen," try, "God's timing is perfect." Instead of, "I'm too old," try, God isn't finished with me yet. Instead of, I don't have what it takes, try, God has equipped me for this season. Proverbs 18:21 says, Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. You're going to eat the fruit of your words. The question is, do you want to feast on life or choke on death? Your words are seeds. Every time you speak, you're planting something: doubt or faith, fear or courage, death or life. And here's what's amazing about seeds. They don't just grow into what you planted, they multiply. One negative word can produce a harvest of discouragement, but one word of faith can produce a harvest of breakthrough. Your past words don't have to determine your future. You can change the conversation today. I want you to make 3 commitments with me right now. First, pay attention to your words. Listen to what you're saying about yourself, your circumstances, your future. Are you speaking life or death? Second, start speaking God's truth over your life even when you don't feel it yet. Faith isn't feeling, it's speaking God's word regardless of circumstances. Third, use your words to build others up. Look for opportunities to speak life into the people around you. Your words might be the thing that saves someone's day, or changes their direction, or gives them hope to keep going. Remember, you have the same creative power that spoke the universe into existence. Every day you're creating something with your words. The question is, what are you creating? Remember, your words have the power to shape not just your world, but the world of everyone around you. Be intentional with that power. If this message challenged you today, show me by hitting that like button, subscribing to your daily companion, and turning on notifications. Share this with someone who needs to hear about the power of their words. And in the comments, tell me one thing you're going to start speaking over your life differently. I'm your daily companion, bringing you encouragement every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, because your words matter, your voice matters, and you matter.